Well, a very good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Apex Racing TV. I am Dave Christie, here bringing you live coverage of tonight's BSR Kia Cup Series Round 2 from Suzuka in Japan. Joining me alongside in the commentary box tonight is not Adam Bath, for a change. We've decided to switch it up tonight, and we've got the one and only Patrick Kispel. A very good evening, Patrick.
And good evening.
So we are at Suzuka International Racing Course based in the Mie Prefecture in Japan. It was opened in 1962. We are on the Grand Prix layout tonight, and of course round 2 it's going to be races 4, 5 and 6 here. 3 races tonight. Stelian Chepelevsky giving it big licks in rounds 1 and 3 last week. And how are you looking forward to things tonight, Patrick?
It's going to be excited. I watched the practice earlier, and it was pretty close at front, but a lot of guys struggling with the grip because it's really cold out here. But yeah, it shall be very excited to watch again, because it's always close racing in the Kia Cup. So nothing else to see tonight, I think.
Yep, great point there. Always exciting action on the track, and we've got some big names out in force again tonight. Of course, we mentioned races 1 and 3 won by the big bad Stelian Chepelevsky and Lewis Bibby. I'd actually tipped him last week to get race 1. He managed to do me proud by getting race 2, a win there. But it's going to be very interesting tonight. And now, you were telling me off air as well, Patrick, you actually had a go in the Kia Cup car here at Suzuka. How did you find it?
It's quite hard. I mean, the car has a lot of power. It's front wheel powered, of course, and especially in cold weather in the first few laps, it's quite hard because it's tail happy, and in the S curves, it's pretty hard to hold on to.
Yeah, it can be a bit of a slippery car. I mean, I've had a couple of rounds in it before I started doing the regular broadcasting, and it is an absolute beast of a car. Very powerful, but a lot of weight to throw about as well. So just looking at the standings as we go into this week's event, Stelian Chepelevsky currently leading the championship, of course, on 208 points, very closely followed by Smith on 199 points, and Sakowitz on 183 points, who's joint third with Stu McFadden. Now, Stu McFadden is very close to me, obviously a young fellow Scot, and he's been doing incredibly well in both the MX-5 and the Kia Cups that we've got here throughout last season and this season. In your brief time watching this, is there any of the drivers taking part tonight that have caught your eye, Patrick?
Yes, of course. Let's not forget about our friend Janowski. He wasn't there last week, but he is here this week. And of course, he's a very good driver as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Julian Janowski is a bit of a legend. You just have to say the name and everybody knows who you're talking about. Janowski, as you rightly pointed out, missing last week. And do you think he's going to be able to shake things up this week?
He showed his pace in practice, so yeah, I'm pretty sure about that.
Good points indeed. So at the moment we are currently watching qualifying taking place. It's a 15-minute qualifying session, and then it will be a 15-minute race taking part after that. At the moment it's Diego Melro who is currently on pole with a provisional 2:07.227 alongside Stu McFadden with a 2:07.493. Stephen Baxter currently in third place with a 2:07.566, and Richard Gore is winning last along with Alexander Lauritsen, still under the 2:08 barrier. So that's the times that we've got at the moment, and as you pointed out, practice a very different kettle of fish. At the moment we've got early morning conditions here at Suzuka, and it is a very, very interesting course here at Suzuka, Patrick, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. If you watch all the races that are held there, entertainment level is always high because of the layout of the track. There are a few points you can actually can overtake somebody. Of course, the first straight, Spoon, the backstretch with the 130R just behind it. Yeah, a lot of excitement is going to be seen tonight, I think.
Yep, 4.5 minutes left to go in qualifying, and while we've got that, let's remind ourselves of the naughty boys and girls who will not be taking part in qualifying tonight after incidents that have taken place at the first couple of rounds here at the BSR Kia Cup. So, excluded from qualifying, you have Jason Greenfield, Thomas Gibson, Jackie Lauterman, Gareth Hickling, Adam Hadfield, Bren Gregory, Nathan Davis, Stelian Chepelevsky, which is a huge issue there, Adam McNally, Cesare Rizzo, and Adam Delmont, as well as Mick Barry, Craig McLeod-Evans, Matt Bunn and Lewis Bibby. And that means for Delmont, Barry, McLeod-Evans, Bunn and Bibby, they're also going to be getting pit lane starts for race 2 here at Suzuka. So that is going to make a massive impact, wouldn't you agree, Patrick, to tonight's event?
Yes, it will, but it will shake things up, because if Chepelevsky is in the back, he has to go to the front. So entertainment guaranteed.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've seen that through some of the other series as well, where we've got incredibly fast drivers starting towards the back of the field, and they just absolutely plough their way through. And it always surprises me that they're able to do it in such a polite and usually, I use the word usually there, usually tidy and safe manner. But yeah, we saw things getting a little bit heated last week for the Kia Cup, so we're just minutes away now from determining the final order. It's still Diego Melro in pole position with a 2:07.227, Stu McFadden with a 2:07.493, Stephen Baxter currently in third place with a 2:07.566. Now, Benjamin Haxon is a new name that we've seen in both the Kia Cup and the MX-5 Cup. He's currently up in fourth place with a 2:07.875, and that's put him nicely in front of Richard Gore, who is currently in fifth place with a 2:07.926. Alexander Lauritsen is currently in sixth place, Ian Roskill currently in seventh, Julian Janowski, as we spoke about earlier, currently in eighth, and Robert Plumley, who did very well last week, is currently in ninth place. One of the things that we're seeing right now on the track is drivers really struggling, Patrick, to get a bit of clean air and actually do a really fast lap without encountering traffic.
Yeah, and that's the hardest part for qualifying at Suzuka. If they're strafing around, because of the lots of the corners there are, you're pretty fast in dirty air, of course. But it has a main advantage. If you can place your car correctly, you can get the stream and the drag on the straight line. But if you are having bad luck with that, yeah, then you will kind of will get them just in front of corners, or even worse, the S curves.
Yep, so good points raised there by Patrick, and looking also to the team standing as well. We are currently having 9 teams taking part in this season, and it's only at the bottom Engine Oil Direct who are yet to make some points on that one. So we'll see where they place this weekend. But Radical Racing currently in 8th place, Youth Energy in 7th, Team Mad in 6th place, Team Discovery are in 5th place, and Cesare Rizzo is one of the big names for them, as well as Alexander Lauritsen. We've got Team Automech currently in the mix as well. ProSim are at 3rd place, and Team GBR currently in 2nd, behind Bermuda, who are currently leading the team standing with 416 points. This early point in the season, as we see Julian Janowski coming together with Max Wright. really struggling to get some room there, and Julian Janowski being very, very forceful to make his way round there, around the side of the Automet car of Max right there, and you got to wonder how that's going to affect the qualifying times there. And yep, so we've got 3 minutes left to go in qualifying here at Suzuka. What's your predictions for race 1 then, Patrick?
I'm really looking forward what will happen at the front with the start between Steven Baxter and Benjamin Hackison. I mean, those guys are really close behind the first two, so we will see what happens at the first corner if it gets clean. And don't forget Richard Gore, he's really fast, he's close, and yeah, he can easily make it to the line at the first spot.
Yep, good point indeed, but it does look like with just over 2 minutes to go, Diogo Melro is currently in the driving seat, if you'll excuse the pun. 2:07, 2:27 still being the time to beat. He is the best out there at the moment, and you've got to wonder if anyone is going to be able to actually catch up with him, because at the moment he's still going round the circuit, but the closest man to him is little Stu McFadden, number 53. And it's going to be very, very interesting to watch indeed. So the checkered flag is out. The drivers currently making their last qualifying efforts at the moment. We will give it another minute or so before we can call it. But it does look like at the moment, unless any major last minute shocks, it's going to be Diogo Melro on pole for our first race here at Suzuka. It's going to be a 15-minute race, and with them currently doing 2-minute laps, or just over 2-minute laps, that looks like it's going to be just shy of around about 8 laps that we're going to get in here per race. No big changes happening then, Patrick, and it looks like Diogo Melro has got his pole.
Yeah, there was a little change in the top 5 because Ian Roscoe in his last lap put in a 2:07.9 and went up to 5th position in favor of Richard Gore.
Yep, so a big move there during the last minute for Ian Roscoe there, and yeah, he really could do with the points on that one, so he'll be very, very happy to move up to 5th place. And that does push Richard Gore and Alexander Lauritsen down to 6th and 7th place. With 30 seconds left to go, as the cars making their way back round the circuit, it looks pretty safe to say that Diogo Melro has indeed taken his pole position for this race. Now, we have seen him up very, very far in the field before, but it's going to be very interesting to see how that translates into the race. So let's go through your grid then for race 1 here at Suzuka for the Kia Optima Cup, the BSR Kia Cup here, and it's Diogo Melro who takes pole position. Stuart McFadden alongside him on the grid in 2nd place. In row 2 is Steven Baxter and Benjamin Hackison taking 3rd and 4th place. Ian Roscoe sneaking into 5th position there, and Richard Gore is in 6th place. In 7th place is Alexander Lauritsen, and in 8th is Julian Janowski. Robert Plumley takes 9th place, and Thorsten Helgeson takes 10th. Kip Stevens, Blake Neck, Lorne Murray, Peter Van Gool, Stephen Minton make up your next 5. And all the way back in 16th place is Steve Walker. Tristan Boris in 17th, Max Wright in 18th, Gavin Wakefield in 19th, James Ayers in 20th place, Lyndon Swaby in 21st, Maciek Sakowicz in 22nd, Lee Bammer in 23rd, Michael Barry in 24th, Stelian Cheplewski, champion last round, is in 25th place, and Thomas Gibson, Jackie Lotterman, Nathan Davis, Patrick Keespill is not going to be on the grid because he's here with me in the commentary box. I did that last season. Cesare Rizzo is in 30th place there, Adam Hadfield in 31st, Matt Bunn, Adam McNally, Adam Delmont, Lewis Bibby is way at the back of the grid there, and Jason Greenfield rounds out your field, number 36. We have 36 cars, 35 cars on the grid, and we are just moments away from getting this race underway. Patrick, any last comments?
Yes, I'm really looking forward to the start because yeah, first corner at Suzuka, it's getting narrower and narrower to the second corner, so it's really exciting to see what's happening in the first laps. And
yep, well, the excitement is building here at Suzuka for race 1 of 3 of the BSR Kia Cup, live here on Apex Racing TV. Is Dave Christie and Patrick covering things for you here in the commentary box. And it's nice to have Patrick Keespel alongside us tonight. The engine notes rise here for race 1 at Suzuka. We're moments away from the start then. Is it going to be a good start? It is for Diogo Melrose here. And there's carnage already right at the back of the grid. That looked like number 12 and Michael Barry going straight into the wall sideways as we go down into turn 1. It's a clean getaway for Diogo Melrose there. And all the cars look okay with the exception of number 12.
yeah, and he is off. He's off in the S curves. Oh,
And that was a wild moment there. Stuart McFadden dropping down to 4th place there, and that was number 888, I believe it was, as Stephen Baxter up to 2nd place, having a wild moment on the curbs there, but managing to hold on to 2nd place nonetheless. Stephen Baxter's going to have to get a move on because Diogo Melrose is already starting to break away from that group behind him, and this is quite an exciting start to the race, Patrick.
yeah, it really is. I almost thought that McFadden will lose the car there at the corner, but he magically hold on to it and kept his position as well.
That's it, and looking there, it's Stephen Baxter who is under great pressure from Benjamin Hackson. What a fantastic start for Benjamin, already up to 3rd place. He's managed to get the jump on Stuart McFadden, who is all the way down into 4th place there. But look at Diogo Melrose there, stretching his legs, stretching the lead out now. And I tell you what, Stephen Baxter is going to have to either get a move on here or he's going to get passed by Benjamin Hackson. And that looks like Stuart McFadden making a move up the inside there. They're side by side as they come into the corner, and surely that's going to be Stu McFadden's corner, Patrick.
Yeah, but if I'm not wrong in this case, Chipolewski is already up to 12th position.
Well, we're going to have a look at that. That is unbelievable, and that's exactly the point I was making. These faster guys just absolutely scything their way through, Patrick, through the field. But look at the damage on the front of Stelian Chepolewski's car. You've got to wonder if there's going to be any sort of internal engine damage to that. Doesn't look like it. He's already trying to catch the back of the rest of the field.
Yeah, we're gonna have to look at it at the straight if he doesn't miss any straight line speed, because his aero is really compromised there.
And it looks like that's Lorne Murray now. He's going to try and catch the back of. Indeed it is. Lorne Murray down in 11th place. Lorne Murray catching a couple of places there. Started in 13th place. And another big jump for Tristan Boris, who started in 17th place. He is now in 10th place. Just about a second and a half behind Kip Stevens in 9th place. But we shift our attention back to the leaders then, and Diogo Melrose has lit the fuse. He is away 1.3 seconds ahead of Stephen Baxter at the moment, because this is a bit of a train that we've got going on here, as Stephen Baxter already been passed by Benjamin Hackson. This is what we warned about earlier, Patrick, wasn't it, with the fact that he was almost holding things up here. What do you think Benjamin Hackson's going to be able to do now that he's been unleashed from Stephen Baxter?
Yeah, we have to see that in the few corners, of course. If he can get away from this train, he can probably attack the first spot. But this train is pretty hard to get away from. So yeah, we will see.
Sorry about that, Patrick. I was just about to say as well, Stu McFadden all over the tail right now of Stephen Baxter. And, you know, right now you got a fantastic start. Managed to get the jump, did Stephen Baxter. What do you think it is that's pushing him all the way backwards?
Yeah, it's probably the traffic. I mean, there's not much room. And he wants to keep his nose clean, of course. So he's probably taking precautions to be in the race as well. And get back on the spot a few laps later, then crashing your car out.
Yep, looking further down the field then, 20th and 21st place, we've got Max Wright and Nathan Davis battling side by side there. Nathan Davis just having to tuck his nose in, but Max Wright running way wide there. Number 27 drops down then to 21st place, and Nathan Davis is going to be delighted with a very easy pick there to move him up to the top 20. And we've seen Nathan Davis, very strong driver in a lot of the previous classes that we've seen him in, but he really does seem to thrive here in the BSR Kia Cup.
And it seems the way that Richard Gore is just entered the train. He stepped in and he's going for it.
Yeah, that's right. I've just noticed there Benjamin Haxon not really able to make as much of a jump as we originally thought, and he's already been caught back up by Stephen Baxter. But like you've just pointed out, Patrick, Richard Gore joining now, making that train a 4-car train for second place, and Stu McFadden's going to have to get a move on, otherwise he's going to get jumped by Gore.
Yeah, Richard Gore is actually in the excellent position to watch this battle out. He's close enough if something happens, and he's close enough to in the hairpin. It's already going, bro.
Yeah, there we go.
And there's
Stu
Richard
McFadden
Gore
trying to make a move there up the inside of Stephen Baxter, and it's not going to happen. And this is exactly the problem, because McFadden doesn't seem to think these moves through, Patrick. He'll make a dive up, he compromises his exit, and now that throws him back into the clutches of Richard Gore.
Yeah, and it's already in favor from Benjamin Hackison as well, because he's gone.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate turn of events there, because Benjamin is just absolutely on it now. He's on his way to try and catch on Diogo Melro, and meanwhile Stephen Baxter is back in his cars, and that looks like Julian Janowski is going to catch onto that train as well.
Yeah, because the battle is so hard. They're losing pace lap after lap, and yeah, that's in favor of the drivers just behind it, who were actually in the traffic at the start. But now there's more room, and you can see that the pace, Janowski has the pace to get them, and now it's now we have to wait and see if he has enough pace to take them their spots.
Yep, so here is a reminder of your current standings then as we go into lap 4. Diogo Melro there currently in the lead by a fair amount, 1.9 seconds or just about there, ahead of Benjamin Haxon, who's doing his best to try and close down. Stephen Baxter is the proverbial cork in the bottle at the moment, 4.2 seconds behind. He is leading a train car of 4 cars right now of Stephen Baxter. Stu McFadden, Richard Gore and Julian Janowski joins onto the tail, and there's contact! Stephen Baxter and Stu McFadden there coming side by side, and there was no room for Stephen Baxter at the end, shoved sideways off, and very firm but fair pass there. And is there damage to Stephen Baxter, because he's off into the gravel, tries to rejoin behind Julian Janowski. You can see that front right tyre poking out of the car of Stephen Baxter there as he's going backwards, and that looks like Robert Plumley is trying to get onto that as well. Car number 147 is wanting to make the jump there, and that could move Plumley up to 6th place, Patrick, but huge drama.
Yeah, but this is what Richard Gore was waiting about from the popcorn position, and he just waited it out. The collision came, and he took his chance, and he's gone as well. And meanwhile, there's a big battle from a 10th spot now, because Chepelovsky has found his space, and he's up to 10th position right now, and just in the train for a top 10 position now.
Yeah, an amazing effort there from Cheplevsky as he goes side by side with number 64, Tristan Bottas, as Patrick pointed out, to take 10th position here. And an absolutely stellar drive from Cheplevsky. He's on the tail of number 99, Ian Roskill, the gentleman we saw sneak into the top 5 for qualifying here on lap 4 as we cross the line to start lap 5, and this is an incredible effort from Cheplevsky. He's got Roskill and Kip Stevens in front of him, and that looks like Roskill was trying to make the move there on Kip Stevens, didn't happen. Cheplevsky comes alongside him there, and that is not going to happen. But Chepelevsky looks to have incredible pace here. Yep, goes around the outside. Good comment there. Patrick makes the move, and he is absolutely clawing his way through this field.
Yeah, at certain point it's so close. If you can go closer, it's almost carpooling. It's amazing.
So let's keep an eye on Chepelevsky. Fastest lap from Chepelevsky was a 2:08.261. Fastest lap from Diogo Melro was a 2:07. So Diogo Melro's fastest lap was a second faster than Stelian Chepelevsky, but Chepelevsky still able to claw his way through the field. Diogo Melro, however, is now 2.4 seconds ahead of Benjamin Hackson. Benjamin doing a stellar effort to try and catch up, but it's not enough to catch up with the pace of Melro. But it is, thankfully, enough to put a light year between him and Stu McFadden in third place.
Yeah, they're starting to form another trade for second, third and fifth position. Janowski is back on the tail on Richard Gore again, and Gore is back in the bumper of McFadden. So it's getting pretty excited at front.
Yep, so we've got just over 2.5 minutes left to go in the race here, and I think that is going to mean that we'll possibly get another 2 or 3 laps left. And number 51, that is Kip Stevens, who's got Chepelevsky all over him. Chepelevsky going to the left hand side, round this right hander. He's going to the outside, he can't make it. Can he switch back on this chicane here? It's not going to happen. He's getting a little bit of a love tap there from Chepelevsky, and Kip Stevens most definitely knows who is coming alongside him right now, because also behind Chepelevsky there, I think that is Ian Roskill that is trying to keep in the tow there. Chepelevsky moves to the inside, takes the place, and that is going to be a big move there. Chepelevsky is going to be absolutely thrilled with his performance tonight. Kip Stevens tried to go for the cutback, wasn't going to be able to make it, and Chepelevsky takes another scalp. That is Chepelevsky up to 8th place, Patrick.
Yeah, it's really amazing how he does it. I mean, through the traffic, so he doesn't have the room, but he still does it. Not on the inside, then on the outside. I mean, yeah, it's not for nothing that he's the champion.
Very good point as well. But believe it or not, he's been outdone right now by Matt Bunn and Lewis Bibby. Matt Bunn started in 32nd place, and he's down to 13th already. Lewis Bibby, however, started in 35th place and is down to 14th place. Absolutely incredible drive from some of the faster drivers at the back of the field.
Absolutely, but let's forget that Jackie Lotterman, for instance, is in 24th as well, started from pits. So a lot of guys who actually started are doing pretty well. They started from back on the grid, but yeah, they've got the pace. I mean.
Yeah, I mean, one of the other points as well is Stephen Baxter. Now, he was all the way up to 2nd place right on lap 1, had a fantastic start, and he has just went all the way backwards. He's now currently down in 7th place, or at least was in 7th place. He's just still going backwards, and it's wow, it's a bit of a melee. That wasn't the greatest of camera angles, and that is Chepelevsky on side by side with Robert Plumley. Now, Robert Plumley was in 6th place that last time round. Surely not that Chepelevsky has taken another 2 places. It's not, because Plumley has went down to 7th place there.
Yeah, and the fight up front for third position is really on. Richard Gore tried it in the Casio Triangle because McFadden went a little bit wide in 130R, but he couldn't make it stick, and now he's back on the tail of McFadden. He really wants to overtake him.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that we've seen from McFadden. Is a fantastic little driver, really pushes hard, but he doesn't tend to respond very well to pressure. And it'll be very interesting, given, as you've pointed out, Patrick, the pace that Richard Gore has got right now. Both drivers at the moment lapping very similar lap times. And do you think right now Julian Janowski's just sitting behind this, watching what's going on?
Yeah, I'm really in a little bit of doubt. On one hand, I think, yes, he's just waiting for what would happen. But on the other hand, the pace of those two in front of him are just that good. Maybe he just can't follow this time by.
And one of the drivers that we've got to now go and focus on then, Diogo Melrose, started his final lap here. And making his way around the circuit, hasn't even been bothered in race 1 here. Benjamin Haxton in second place, but across the line.
Sorry to interrupt you, but here's the attack from Richard Gore at McFadden towards 130R.
Yep, great point there. We cut back then to Stu McFadden side by side with Richard Gore. Richard Gore.
It's pretty close there, but will he do it in case you're triangle, or can he make it stick this time? No. He's way too far behind. But there's another straight coming up, so maybe he can do it there. But I think he's a little bit too far to do it from here. Let's see what's happening with Chepelovsky. He's really attacking the back of Baxter, but can he make it? Can he make it in the first curve? Oh, they make contact, but they're still on. Amazing car control by both. Still on the back of Baxter, but he can't overtake him at this moment. Will he stay behind? Or will he be able to overtake? I don't think he can do it here, but maybe in the Dunlop. No, he can't. And let's switch back to Richard Gore, because there are two close battles at the moment. And this is for the best position and on track at the moment. So we have to see, does he attack in the hairpin now? Will he do it or not? No, not yet. He's waiting. Good exit for both. And now we have to wait and see what happens through Spoon and the backstretch. It's really amazing to see how Richard Gore tries to attack McFadden time after time, but he can't make it stick. And well defending by McFadden again. And now it's up to the backstretch. See what happens. McFadden goes wide. That will be losing a lot of pace there. But he seems to have enough to defend it till the end. He's really weaving, not to get Richard Gore a chance to pass him, but yeah, we really have to wait, because Janowski is at the back as well, and he's too far right, far behind to make a move. But Richard Gore is really trying in his last attempt just for the finish line to overtake him, but no. McFadden will take third place just behind Hackerson and Jago Melroy. And let's watch a little bit back. And there's the whole pack, with Chepelevsky finally finishing 6th spot, Robert Plumley 7th, and Stephen Baxter 8th, Kip Stevens 9th, and Tristan Baudi's 10th. It was a really amazing race to see. A lot of battles on track. Chepelevsky way from the back to 6th spot. But yeah, the prize for the easiest drive of today goes to Jago Melroy. Nobody saw him, only at the start, and maybe they can see him now in pit lane with his trophy in his hands, because he was really excellent drive. The speed, the pace, everything was there. Didn't make any mistakes, so it was really excellent to see what he's done today. Another one to point out is Benjamin Hackerson. He really did well. I mean, if you just start in this series and you come back with a second position, only 5 seconds behind the winner, and before big names like Richard Gore, Janowski and Chepelevsky, you did it really well. So there's Dave again.
Yep, there we go. Apologies for the technical difficulties, guys. Yeah, there's nothing more exciting to climax the race than your computer shutting itself down unexpectedly. So yeah, while the race finishes, and I can only presume that Diogo Melrose still won that one. I'll be having a look at the results and we'll bring them to you in just a second. Patrick, yeah, what did I miss?
Yeah, it was amazing. A lot of things happened when you were stepping aside with the technical difficulties, but it was amazing. Diego Melwer, of course, won the race. Easy, I can almost say. Nobody challenged him, and he just drove away and won. But let's point out Benjamin Heckerson. Just started in this series, and yeah, then you become second in your first race. I mean, amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Ben has been one that I've been sort of keeping my eye on this season. Obviously not one of the names that we're familiar with, but yeah, he had a really, really good race. And yeah, so while I wait for the finishing order to be posted, Patrick, maybe you'll be able to do us the honours and go through the top 10.
Yeah, no problem. The winner by far is Diego Melroy. Number 2, Benjamin Heckerson. Stuart McFadden on 3rd. Richard Gore 4th. Julian Janowski 5th. Stilian Chepelevsky 6th. Robert Plumley 7th. Stephen Baxter 8th. Kip Stevens 9th. And Tristan Bodies close up the top 10.
Excellent, good job. So we'll have a look at who else we've got. In the meantime, Mr. Samuli Kumo is going to be getting the Wheel of Fortune warmed up. We'll be going to that in just a second to get the results of the reverse grids, and we'll see what happens with that one. Yeah, it should be very, very exciting. So are you familiar with the wheel that we do here, Patrick?
Oh yes, I watch the series when I can, and that's mostly every time. So the Wheel of Fortune, as I call it, is very familiar. So it's for the reverse grid, and yeah, it's always excited how much changes there will be.
Excellent. Okay, so enough stalling. I've got the standings up in front of me. So we've done the top 10. Adam Hadfield I've got is in 11th place. Lewis Bibby in 12th. Nathan Davis in 13th place. Stephen Minton finishing in 14th place. Maciek Sakowicz in 15th. Adam Delmont finishing in 16th place. Blake Neck in 17th. And in 18th place is Gavin Wakefield. Stephen Walker is in 19th place. Alexander Lauritsen, we had high hopes for him, manages to get 20th. Lyndon Swaby is in 21st place. Peter Van Gool and Cesare Rizzo, can never pronounce his name, in 22nd and 23rd place. Jamie Ayres in 24th. Jason Greenfield in 25th place. Richard Gore I've got is all the way down in 26th place, although you were saying that he finished in 4th place, so I'm not sure what has happened there. Yeah, so it's an interesting lineup indeed. So yeah, I think the standings that I've been given are completely incorrect, so just ignore what I've just said for the past 5 minutes. Fabulous. In the meantime, we'll distract you from that glaring omission. Sammy, do you want to go and spin the wheel? So Patrick, while the wheel is spinning, you'll have to keep me right. And so we land on 25, so it's a 25 car reverse grid. And any big names jump out at you on that one?
Let me see, that's Alexander Lauritsen on pole position in the next race.
Ooh. Now we were, again, along with Benjamin Haxon, he was one of the names that was sticking out to me this season, so it's interesting to see him on pole. We've seen him in practice sessions being incredibly fast, but obviously just not able to hook it up. What difference do you think that's going to make to him being able to start on pole position?
Yeah, you can actually show your pace from the first lap on. I mean, if you have a good start, everything is clean in front of you, no dirty air, no nothing. You can do it all on your own. Have you seen with Diego Melroy? He just drove up because of his pace, and yeah, he did an excellent job to maintain that pace and maintain the lead. And that's the main advantage if you have a good start with pole position. Yeah, you're in the driver's seat. You can do whatever you want if you're faster than the rest.
Yep, and we saw that certainly from race 1, from your race 1 winner Diogo Melro. We'll have more about that and the build up to race 2 coming up very shortly. In the meantime though, we'll take a very short commercial break.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
Truex in the outside, contact made. 56 slides it at a 4. Who's going to be at the stripe? Dead even, give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
on the outside, contact made. 56 slides it into 4. Who's going to be at the stripe? Dead even, give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
And a very warm welcome back. Apologies for the extended delays. There was some technical difficulties. Nice to see that it's not just myself suffering them tonight. But we do have race 2 just minutes away here at the BSR Kia Cup Series. This week we are in Mi Prefecture for the Suzuka International Circuit. We're on the Grand Prix layout, and joining me yet again this week, Patrick Kispel. Patrick, thank you very much for covering while my computer died there. It's been a fantastic race 1, hasn't it?
It really was, and no problem for filling in, because that's why I'm here. And it was really excited. Some guys really from the back of the grid going to the front. Unexpected spots for new drivers. Everything was in it.
Yeah, that's right. Benjamin Haxon getting second place there. Really standout drive for him. But the man of the moment, Stelian Cheplevsky, coming from the back of the grid and getting 6th place in that first race there. And we'll very quickly remind you of the top 10 while we wait for the practice session here before race 2 to come to an end. Diogo Melro taking the win in race 1 here, ahead of Benjamin Haxon, as Patrick said rightly, by a long shot, 5 seconds clear of second place Benjamin Haxon. Stuart McFadden fought hard and looked like he could have possibly got second place there, but it wasn't to be. He finished 3rd place, 8.7 seconds behind Diogo Melro and 3.7 seconds behind Benjamin in second place. Richard Gore took 4th place there, again fighting hard with Stu McFadden, as was Julian Janowski, a name that we didn't hear last week. Julian took 5th place, and Stelian Cheplevsky, Patrick, an absolutely stellar drive for him, taking 6th place there.
Yeah, it really was amazing. I mean, if you in one lap he was already up to 12th position. I don't know how he does it, but there was a little struggle in the back, of course, with some contact, but still he managed to pull through, and yeah, just ended up in the 6th position from way behind the grid. It's really amazing.
Very fortuitous driving there from Stelian Cheplevsky. We saw him winning 2 races last week, and he's going to be quite far back of the grid as well with that 25 car reverse grid. But going back to the results, Robert Plumley getting 7th place there, and Stephen Baxter had a great start, was all the way up to 2nd place and went all the way backwards. He's going to be very frustrated getting 8th place there. Kip Stevens with a good finish there in the top 10 in 9th place, and Tristan Bodice for Team GBR rounding out the top 10 here for race 1 at the BSR Kia Cup here at the Suzuka GP circuit. So our eyes turn to race 2 of the evening. We are just under 2 minutes away from getting the cars starting to grid up, at which point we will confidently be able to talk you through the reverse grid here. We've got a good idea of who's going to be on pole for that race, but Patrick, what are you expecting for race 2? More of the same?
Yes, because Cheplevsky is again back at the grid, so again he has to do some overtaking. But on the other hand, some drivers who were actually more back at the finish line this time by, they actually have a chance to do it better this race. The weather is a little bit different because track state is different. So it's a little bit warmer now, and maybe some people feel more confident at a warmer track than the cold track it was in the first race.
Yep, some good points race there. Now, one of the things that we believed earlier on, Patrick, was that Alexander Lauritsen was going to be on pole. Now, one of the interesting points I want to throw out here is that quite a few drivers have got a start from pit penalties here in the second race. Now, I don't want to be the devil's advocate here, but that could really mess up with the gridding here for the second race. That could throw a spanner into the works, and it'd be very interesting to see who actually is on pole, if it is Alexander Lauritsen.
Yes, it is. But yeah, that's the thing in racing. You can start where you start, but you never know where you're gonna end, and you have to finish first. So and especially in this cup racing as in this format. I mean, everything can happen. So that's the fun part of races like this. This is cup racing at its best. And yeah, predictions, you can probably throw them away, because we saw the first race. We thought what was going to happen, but did it happen? No, it totally went different.
Yep, so here we go then. The grid for race 2 looks as follows. It is indeed Alexander Lauritsen on pole along with Steve Walker. Gavin Wakefield and Adam McNally, take on 3rd and 4th position. Stephen Minton and Jackie Lotterman are in 5th and 6th. Maciej Sakowicz and Max Wright are in 7th and 8th positions. Nathan Davis and Adam Hadfield are in 9th and 10th. Lorne Murray and Ian Roskill are in 11th and 12th. Tristan Bodis and Kip Stevens are 13th and 14th. And Stephen Baxter and Robert Plumley are in 15th and 16th. The man on the move, of course, Stelian Cheplevsky starts in 17th place. Julian Janowski alongside him for 18th place. 19th and 20th goes to Richard Gore and Stuart McFadden. Benjamin Haxon and Diogo Melro are in 21st and 22nd. Thorsten Helgeson and Lyndon Swaby in 23rd and 24th. And yep, it's all the way down for the rest of the grid.
And it's green.
Yep, so the green flag goes off there. Caught me a little bit off guard there, but a great start there for Alexander Lauritsen. And it looks like it's a clean getaway from all 34 drivers on the grid there. It's a great start for Lauritsen. And there goes Gavin Wakefield off at turn 1. It is carnage, number 74 as well. Stephen Minton goes off at turn 1. It looks like those are the only casualties that are off at turn 1.
No. Number
Steve
64.
Walker's still off.
Tristan Bodis is touched by Chepelevsky and went sideways, but
That's
managed
right.
to keep it on.
Hell is breaking loose here in the midfield here, and Triple H, Stephen Baxter falling all the way down the field here, but the leaders really starting to keep things together here. No such drama for them further down the field, and Stephen Minton is he's trying to hold on, but he's getting muscled out from his teammate number 72, and that is a fantastic start there for, let me just work out who that is. That's Jason Greenfield, and that's number 79 gone off. Goodness me, it looked like he completely lost it by himself. And Peter Van Gool then is having a big moment there, managed to rejoin the track there, but wild spin there.
Yes, and what I mentioned before, Alex Lauritsen has a very good start. And he's probably doing the same what Melrose did in the first race. He just went up. And the only one he could follow him a little bit is Steve Walker, but the rest just falling behind in the train, and let's see what happens in a few laps there. But what we missed in the first lap is the point that our friend Lotterman went off, and he's currently at the back of the field.
Yeah, now you did mention that when we were speaking after the race about Lauritsen possibly getting some fresh air in front of him and just absolutely going for it, and it does look like that's what he's done as we come across the line here to start lap 2 of the second race here. It is currently Alexander Lauritsen in the lead, Steve Walker in second place, Adam McNally in third, Nathan Davis moving all the way up from 9th place to 4th place there, and Adam Hadfield behind him from 10th to 5th. Maciej Sakowicz is currently in 6th, Max Wright in 7th place, Lorne Murray is in 8th place, Ian Roskill getting a good start there up to 9th, and a big sideways moment there for Steve Walker. He was trying very hard, trying to push to catch Alexander Lauritsen, but just loses it on the chicane there between turns 3 and 4, and a big moment there. That's going to push him backwards to be caught by Adam McNally there, and the pressure is really going to mount on him now, Patrick.
Yeah, it really is, because he's really struggling to keep the same pace. He's forced into errors to keep that pace, and yeah, that's really exciting, of course. I mean, if you really have to drive it to the edge, that's what racing all about.
Yep, and a big move there from Maciej Sakowicz on Lorne Murray, number 5. He's obviously got a slowdown penalty because he's dropping way back there, and he's going to have to try and safely rejoin at some point, but he has lost, that must be at least 10 positions, and that is a massive upset there for Maciej Sakowicz there. He cut across the corner, made what looked like a good move on Lorne Murray, took the place, and I'm wondering if there's issues for Maciej Sakowicz, because that is now way more than a slowdown penalty, and he is dropping all the way back down, Patrick.
Yeah, he is, and in that case Tristan Bodies is doing the opposite. He's trying to gain some positions. He was a second behind Kip Stevens a moment ago, but now he's really at his bumper, and in his wing is Stelian Chepelevsky. Just wanted to keep the pace as well, and there's one through the air. They're going double foul in it.
Yeah, that was side by side between Steve Walker and Adam McNally. That was Steve Walker and that was Nathan Davis actually there. The unmistakable green card number 73. Nathan Davis tried to make the move. They're wiggling all over the track there. They're side by side as they come into turn 1 at the start of lap 3 here. Nathan Davis tried to make the move on Steve Walker. Makes it stick. Runs Steve Walker out wide into turn 1. And it looks like Steve Walker could lose not just 1 place, but possibly 2 places here as well, as Adam Hadfield tries to capitalise as Steve Walker slots himself in position there, and that is an excellent move there.
Benjamin Heckerson almost lost his car, but he gained his position because he gave a little tap by Lorne Murray, but he managed to keep his car on track, and he's now on really serious threat about Richard Gore, who's really attacking him from behind. So
yep, and meanwhile at the lead, Nathan Davis just overtakes Alexander Lauritsen. They were side by side there, and a big move there for Nathan Davis. We've seen him in previous races being incredibly strong. He's got a lot of pace, and that's a big move and a big tap there from number 62. Adam Hadfield gives Steve Walker there, Alexander Lauritsen it was, on the receiving end of a massive shunt from Adam Hadfield, and Hadfield really got the pace now from Lauritsen. Goes to make the move on the inside. It's going to be the battle of the late breakers here, but it is still Lauritsen in second place. And have I spoken too soon, because Lauritsen was too late on the brakes there, and just carried that car over onto the curb and ran ever so slightly wide though. Managed to keep the place, Patrick. All hell breaking loose here on lap 5.
yeah, and a few spots behind it, Andy McNally is really trying to overtake Adam Hadfield, but he couldn't get it stick to the 130R. But Hadfield is going a little bit wide, and maybe he can do it. No. He closes the door in the Casio triangle, and he has to do it all over again on the straight. Let's see what happens there, because car number 27, Max Wright, is just behind it, and maybe he can take advantage of the situation right now, because he got the double slipstream. So let's see what happens in the first corner.
Yeah, that's exactly right, and he's going to just manages to hold on to that place there. And I tell you what, Patrick, the excitement got me all confused there. We're only on lap 4, it's not lap 5, it's lap 4, sorry about that. But Lauritsen is under big pressure right now from Adam Hadfield, who's currently in 3rd place. Behind him, Steve Walker, who was doing very well, moving back down to 4th place. And there's a big slide there from Walker, side by side with number 4, that's Adam McNally. He loses the place, McNally's going to get through, and Walker's going to get mugged as well by Max Wright. The Automet car number 27 is going to have the inside line, and is this number 99 Ian Roskill going to have a cheeky little look? Isn't quite up there, but that does look like it's going to be Max Wright making the move on Steve Walker. And there we go, that's going to be Ian Roskill trying it round the outside. And can Roskill take this position now? Steve Walker has been absolutely mauled here. Really unfortunate for him. Takes a wide line, and he is losing places left, right and centre. Kip Stevens now trying to have a little go as well, and absolute disaster on a succession of 4 turns there for Steve Walker, Patrick.
Yeah, and a few cars behind it, there was a little tap by Chepelowski on Bodies. Almost lost his car, but he could manage to keep it on. But a few corners later, Chepelewski did overtake Bodies as well. and he's on his way to another top 10, and maybe even better than that.
Yep, and very, very good spot there, because of course in this race the cars are far closer together. In the last race we had Diogo Melro shooting off into the sunset, leaving Stu McFadden and the rest all behind. But this group of cars from Chepelewski in 10th place all the way up to Nathan Davis in the lead, separated by 5 seconds. Given how much time Chepelewski managed to claw his way during race 1, would not put it past him to get back up to the front indeed. And as we look, it's Nathan Davis currently in the lead for lap 5, and it's 1.3 seconds ahead of Adam Hadfield.
Yeah, and Alexander Lauritsen didn't get his position that he wanted to. He started off on pole, led a few laps, and then he fell a little bit behind, and he seems to be struggling to keep the pace and keep the gap closed between him and Adam Hadfield. But the problem is you never know what's happening in the car or what happens with the car and the driver. But I hope he will be back at the back of Adam Hadfield, so we can have a little battle up front. Because,
and meanwhile, Chepelewski and Tristan Bottas absolutely going at hammer and tongs, and while they've been doing that, cheeky little Stu McFadden trying to go up the inside there, can't quite take the place from Chepelewski. Chepelewski looking very, very aggressive with his car right now, Patrick. He is really, really gunning all over the back of Tristan Bottas, trying to get that place back. And meanwhile, that's number 51, and all hell breaks loose. That is Kip Stevens, late on the brakes there, hits the back of Steve Walker, and ends up spinning himself out there. And I'll tell you what, Kip really, on the looks of that, only had himself to blame. Steve Walker was slow for the corner there as we look back at Chepelewski and number 64 of Tristan Bottas going side by side, and Chepelewski takes a place as teammates Benjamin
Yeah, I would just want to say watch Ben. He's just sneaked in.
Yep, that's exactly right. Teammates side by side, no team orders here. It would appear Benjamin Haxon and Tristan Bottas side by side here for 11th and 12th place.
And Nathan Davis is just carrying on what he was doing at the front of the field. He's just has taken off, and yeah, it seems to be that if he drives this the way he does at the now, yeah, he's going to win this race without any doubt, because he's faster than the number 2, and yeah, he's just driving very clean, and he's off in my opinion.
Yep, and it does look like he's lit the touch paper and he is away, as you said, Patrick. But a fantastic race too, much closer than the previous races. There's so many little battles taking place all throughout the field here. We've got a 3-car battle going on for 4th position, and it's currently Max Wright leading Adam McNally and Stephen Baxter. Stephen having a much better time this time round. Stephen all over the back of number 4 Adam McNally, and it's going to be very interesting to see, because it does look like Stephen Baxter has got the pace to get past Adam McNally, but Adam making that Kia as wide as possible here at Suzuka. Further down the field as well, we've got Chepelewski moving round the outside of number 22 Steve Walker. How has he done that? He's taken 8th place there. Unbelievable driving there from Stelian Chepelewski. He's on the warpath, and I wouldn't put a podium out of his reach today, Patrick.
No, not at all, because what he did in the first race, he does again in the second race, and that's something you can't say about Diego Melroy. He's really struggling with his pace. He's way at the back. He's at the 18th position at the moment, and that was the race runner for race 1. Yeah, he can't do it from back of the grid, and that's something totally different with Chepelewski, who did it in race 1 and yeah, seems to be doing it again in race 2. Amazing drive.
Yeah, fantastically strong drive there from Chepelewski. So your top 10 currently looks like this. Nathan Davis is currently in the lead, followed by Adam Hadfield, 1.7 seconds behind. Third place is currently Alexander Lauritsen, leading a field of cars coming through. Max Wright is currently in 4th place. Adam McNally is in 5th, followed by Stephen Baxter as they come across the line to start lap 6. Ian Roskill in 7th place alongside Stelian Chepelevsky in 8th position. Benjamin Haxon drops down to 9th place, although it's a fantastic run for him. And Steve Walker is in 10th, although he's under pressure for losing that place there. And that looks like Stu McFadden has just taken 10th place as I speak. As they go into turn 1, Steve Walker is dropping faster than a stone in a pond right now. And big trouble for Steve Walker.
Yeah, it's really amazing to see. There's a whole bunch of drivers now close together. Richard Gore is really at the bumper of Tristan Baudi's. They really touch each other. They're scraping, and yeah, it can't be closer than this. And then there's a whole train behind it, just waiting what will happen. And if there's a chance, they will probably pass. And that's what Richard Gore now does by Tristan Baudi's. He passed him, and yeah, he's probably flew off now. He's going on its way to Stuart McFadden and see if he can overtake him as well.
Yep, that's right. And looking at the field though, Adam McNally and Stephen Baxter absolutely door frame to door frame as they went round the track there. And well, you can't say anything if not that the Kia Cup is absolutely thrilling racing.
No, it's absolutely, yeah, the best cup races on iRacing the platform can ever be. I mean, you see people really scraping the edges of the track, scraping each other door to door. And what I mentioned in the first race, the only thing closer than this is carpooling. I mean, it's really insane how close these guys can race to each other and still keep it clean.
Yep, so we're waiting to see Nathan Davis cross the line then. And I think, are we going to get one more lap? That's going to be the question here. And
no.
The answer from his extravagant showboating is no. That would be a win for Nathan Davis there. Taking it from 1.4 seconds over Adam Hadfield there. So a great race win for Nathan Davis. And he's going to be absolutely delighted with that one, Patrick, is he?
Yeah, of course. I mean, when you have to reverse grid, and you saw the first race, and it's quite hard to get in front, and now he started way better up front from 9th position. He did an excellent job. He avoided all kinds of incidents and just drove around everybody in front of him and grabbed the position, and actually did what I expected for Alexander Lauritsen to do. Use the clean air to drive clean and get your pace up.
Yep, that's exactly it. So we'll have a look at your finishing order then for race 2 here on the BSR Kia Cup at Suzuka GP. Nathan Davis taking the race win from Adam Hadfield by 1.4 seconds. Alexander Lauritsen finishing in 3rd place alongside Max Wright in 4th. Stephen Baxter took 5th place with Adam McNally finishing in 6th. Ian Roskill taking 7th place, and another stellar performance from Stelian Chepelevsky which gets him 8th place. Benjamin Haxon having an equally amazing run there from 29th on the grid, finishing in 9th place alongside Stu McFadden, who started 20th and finished 10th. Richard Gore takes 11th place alongside Tristan Baudi's with 12th place. Steve Walker dropping down the order there, started 2nd. Miserable race for him, finishing in 13th place. Robert Plumley takes 14th, Kip Stevens in 15th, Lorne Murray in 16th, Thorsten Helgeson in 17th place. Diogo Melro, race winner of race 1, only manages to get 18th position, and Jamie Ayres finishes in 19th. Blake Neck rounds up the top 20, and it is as follows for the rest of the field. Julian Janowski in 21st position. Maciej Sakowicz again with a terrible drive there, terrible luck in 22nd. He started 7th on the grid. Lewis Bibby, another average weekends for him so far. 24th, 25th for Peter Van Gool. Stephen Minton in 26th place. 27th for Adam Delmont. Jason Greenfield in 28th place. Lee Bammer in 29th. Gavin Wakefield rounds out the top 30. in 30th place, and Cesare Rizzo in 31st place. Thomas Gibson in 32nd, and Jackie Lotterman really not having a lot of luck here in 33rd. And at the back of the grid, Lyndon Swaby. Patrick, what a race.
Yeah, it really was, and it started all off in the second corner where Jackie Lotterman went off with a little bit of contact from the cars behind him and aside him. And that's how you can see you started 6th at the grid and ended up in the very back of the grid, just with one unlucky accident.
Well, we turn our attention then to race 3, our final race here of the BSR Kia Cup. And before we go off for a break, there's only one thing that we've got left to do. While Sammy brings up the wheel of fortune, as I think we're going to call it for just now. We're going to find out who is going to end up with the luck of the draw, the reverse grid draw. Sammy, spin the wheel, and we end up on 22. That means Maciej Sakowicz is going to end up on pole position for our final race here at Suzuka. Maciej will lead off from Julian Janowski, Blake Neck, Jamie Ayres. Diogo Melrodo is going to start off in, I believe, 4th position. Or make that 5th actually on the grid, so a huge position there for Diogo Melro. Thorsten Helgeson, Lauren Murray, Kip Stevens, Robert Plumley, Steve Walker, Tristan Boris and Richard Gore are all going to follow behind. So Diogo Melro in 5th place for race 3. Patrick, thoughts on that?
Yes, it probably will make his race a lot easier than this one. You could see that he struggled with the traffic a lot. And if he starts well, there's a chance that he can do the same thing he did in race 1 and just win it. But on the other hand, Julian Janowski is at the front row, so it's not all clear who is going to win this, because Janowski, Melroy, and don't even clear out Chipolewski, because he did it again. And he's now from 14th position. So yeah, let's wait and see what we can do there. And Richard Gore is there as well, and he did pretty well in first race, just as the rest of the front of the grid.
Yep, some good points raised by my co-commentator Patrick Quiswell tonight. So we look forward to race 3 coming up very, very shortly. We're going to take a quick break here at Apex Racing TV, and when you rejoin us, it's going to be the final race of tonight here at Suzuka International Circuit for the BSR Kia Cup.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
Welcome back. You're watching Apex Racing TV live here at the Mie Prefecture. This is the Suzuka International Racing Course, very, very prestigious circuit. You join us here tonight for live coverage of the BSR Kia Cup. It's Dave Christie here with you this evening, and alongside me in the commentary studio is none other than Patrick Kiswell. Patrick, it's been a fantastic evening of racing tonight, and yeah, what's been your highlights?
The highlights of tonight are pretty clear. I mean, the driving of Chepelovsky, it has to be mentioned. The second place of Ben Heckerson has to be mentioned. And I must say, the surprising win in the second race. I didn't saw that one coming. And yeah, that's the cool thing about this cup race. I mean, everything can happen. And I said it before, and that's just the beauty, and it's just entertainment on wheels. Close racing, everything. It's really amazing to be here and watch this beautiful racing.
Yeah, it really is a privilege to be watching such close racing. That's one of the things that struck me as well during race 2 as well, was just how tightly bunched up the drivers were, and how, compared to race 1, it was relatively incident free. But a fantastic win for Nathan Davis nonetheless, and he will be delighted to be putting that feather in his cap. Well and truly managed to see off the threats that were facing him during that race. But as we have just over 3 minutes left to go in this practice session for race 3, that's where our attention has to come to. And yep, we've got a 22 car reverse grid, and with Janowski and Diogo Melro back up at the front, it's going to be very, very interesting to watch.
Yeah, it will be, and this will be the first time this evening that two highly ranked drivers will start just so close from each other and from the front rows. So exciting from the first lap, I think.
Yep, and what are the key factors, do you think, in this third race? Because obviously we started with early morning conditions. We had the last race in almost perfect, pristine mid-afternoon setting, and this last race is going to take place around about sort of tea time-ish. The temperature has dropped quite a bit, the track temperature has dropped quite a bit. Do you think the cold tyres are going to be a big factor on lap 1?
Yeah, they always are in the Kia. So if you don't watch it in the first few corners, yeah, it probably will end up in tears. And
yep.
Especially with this close racing, I mean, there are just inches between the cars, and just a little wiggle can unsettle your car just that much, and the car of your competitor as well.
Yep, and given that it's a 10-minute warm-up session here, we've only seen 7 drivers actually managing to put in a lap time. We're seeing a lot of sideways action. Stu McFadden having a wild moment there just after 1:30R. We saw Julian Janowski going off into the barriers in quite a spectacular fashion. They'll all have the cars 100% fixed and ready to go for the race, but I just wonder what difference the conditions of the circuit are going to make to this final race. So it's going to be very, very interesting as we have just over a minute to go in the session, Patrick. Have you got any standout drivers that you think are in with a big shot of this last race?
Yeah, I'm hoping that Janowski will finally let's see his potential, what he actually has. I mean, it's one of the best drivers around that drives the Kia on the world, and tonight he slightly disappoints in the position where he finished. So maybe this track isn't suited for him, or he just waited for the last race.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see if that gamble pays off for him. He's going to start, I believe, 5th on the grid, but we'll confirm that in just under 30 seconds time as the last cars go across the line to finish their warm-up session. Stu McFadden getting a rather helpful punt off there from, I believe that was number 8 of Maciej Sakowicz. And yeah, let's see if that one continues itself during the race. Now, if I remember rightly from the warm-up, in fact, I don't have to because the cars are right to start gridding up. I think it's Maciej that is going to take pole position as we wait for the cars to take to the grids. And your final grid for the final race of the BSR Kia Cup at Suzuka circuit is going to look like this. On pole position is Maciej Sakowicz. Joined alongside him is Patrick's tip for the race, Julian Janowski, and I tell you what, I won't say a word against him. Blake Neck takes 3rd place, Jamie Ayres in 4th, Diogo Melro, another strong contender, in 5th place, winner of race 1 indeed. 6th place is Thorsten Helgeson, Lauren Murray in 7th place, Kip Stevens in 8th, Robert Plumley is in 9th place, Steve Walker in 10th, Tristan Boris in 11th, Richard Gore in 12th place. 13th for Stuart McFadden, 14th for Benjamin Haxon, Stelian Cheplewski takes 15th, and Ian Roskill in 16th place. Adam McNally is in 17th, Stephen Baxter in 18th, Max Wright in 19th, Alexander Lauritsen in 20th position. Behind him there's Adam Hadfield, Nathan Davis, Matthew Bunn, Lewis Bibby, Peter Van Gool, Stephen Minton, Adam Delmont, Jason Greenfield, Lee Balmer and the rest as the engine notes rise. We are getting ready to go here.
And we're
green
off
flag!
green. Oh,
was a
big crash
huge accident in the midfield there. That's 666 caught up in that. That's Richard Gore. Cars going everywhere. There's at least 4 cars caught up on that. Cars going onto the grass, but the majority of the cars managed to make their way around. Maciej Sakowicz gets a great start there. He is off into first place there. Julian Janowski following closely in second, but goodness me, all hell breaking off there behind him, and that was a very, very frantic start to the race, Patrick.
Yeah, it really is, and it continues in the S-curves because it's bragging and they're scrubbing bodies, and it's really close, and they're wiggling around because of the cold tires. And yeah, I'm really surprised that nobody went up, but it was really excited to the S-curves.
Yep, so a huge start then for Maciej Sakowicz, and there already goes Janowski into the lead. Up on the inside, it's side by side between Janowski and Sakowicz. Who is going to come out on top? You're going to have to think that Janowski might have a good chance there. Out breaks there Sakowicz. Sakowicz on the inside tries to take the place there. They are still side by side, but Janowski says thank you very much, and already only 7 turns into the race, Janowski takes the lead on lap 1 here.
And just to mention it, Chepelovsky did it again in the first lap. He's already in the top 10 and closing up at the number 9. So yeah, he's really excited today. Maybe it's a plan to put him in the back of the grid for the rest of the season, because you get the excitement races all over. I mean, it's really amazing. He's overtaking like nobody can. Yeah, I just have no words for that. How he does it, I don't know, but he does it.
And the tyre grip is becoming apparent here as Janowski runs wide, and that is going to be a move made for second place again. That's Blake Neck trying to take over from Maciej Sakowicz there, and it's happened. Maciej Sakowicz has he's managed to get that place back as they're 3 wide across the start finish line to start on lap 2. Almost 4 wide now, Maciej Sakowicz, Blake Neck and Diogo Melro. Huge recovery drive here from Diogo Melro, and that is round the outside there. There's a spin. Number 84, that is Melro there. Oh sorry, that's number 16 instead. That's actually Blake Neck that spun out there. 84 was Diogo Melro, who moves up into second place, but I'll tell you, the one who's lost out all on that is Maciej Sakowicz, who goes all the way back down to 4th place.
Yeah, and it's really amazing. Just behind that, it's really struggling about. It's really close, and everybody is trying to overtake everybody, but nobody succeeded so far. And yeah, it's really close. It's even closer than race 2, and that was close. And
yep, that's right. The traction, the grip levels are just non-existent here. Cars are sliding about, as you said, Patrick, really struggling to get any sort of purchase on the tarmac here at Suzuka. But we're into lap 2, and it's currently Janowski, and that was number 8 again. That was Sakowicz, who lost it all, and really backing the field up there as Lauren Murray tries to capitalise on that in the Team Automet car there. Number 46 and 47, that is Jamie Ayres alongside, let's see who that is, that's 147, that's Robert Plumley fighting it out for 6th and 7th as well. So it doesn't matter where you look, Patrick, there are battles going on all throughout the field.
Yeah, it's almost impossible to follow. I mean, I'm clicking and clicking to watch it all, but it's impossible. It's battling all over the place, and it's just a pile of cars just trying to overtake each other, and it's really cool. But somebody went off, and then just didn't see who, but somebody crashed in 130R, and there's another one at Casio Triangle. It's Stephen Baxter.
Yeah, I saw that there, a car with a huge impact there, and Stephen Baxter just trying to get his way back onto the circuit there. Doesn't seem to be too much damage on that car, but yeah, as we look towards the car of
Melrose went off. Melroy just took second place and went off way too wide in the first corner and had to give his place back to Blake. And Janowski, as mentioned before, he's off 2 seconds ahead of the rest of the field.
Yep, lap 3 and Janowski, as you rightly pointed out, is 2 seconds ahead. He's clocking out, and a huge move there for Diogo Melro to lose that to Blake Neck. And Blake, again, another new name here in the season and in the series here. But behind him, it's all kicking off between Sakowicz, Plumley, McFadden and Lauren Murray. Indeed, the two teammates, the all-mate teammates, side by side. And, of course, thankfully not coming to any sort of harm with each other. Lauren Murray losing the place to Stu McFadden, who is making his way all the way up there. And I believe that puts him up into 5th place. But that's Robert Plumley just in front of him, and in front of him is Maciej Sakowicz, who is really tipped for good things, starting on pole position, but has just found himself dropping all the way backwards, Patrick. But Stu McFadden motoring up the field.
Yeah, and behind him, it's a very close battle between Chepelewski and Hatfield. Chepelewski had to run wide at the corner, and now he does it again at Spoon. Just to keep up with the guys in front of him, Bodies, McFadden and Plumley, because he doesn't want to lose too much time and, of course, points in the end of the day.
Yep, great point there. And we see Blake Neck and Diogo Melro fighting it out tooth and nail here. Diogo happy to sit behind and just take the slipstream of Blake Neck, who is doing an absolutely fantastic job. We have to say that. Cracking job. Started in 3rd place, moved all the way up to 2nd place, and he is holding off Diogo Melro. We've seen him win quite a few races already this season. Diogo Melro moving on to the inside hill. He's going to try and take Blake Neck here on turn 1. Already does it by turn 1, and Blake Neck trying to get the late turn in to get the comp back. It's not going to happen, and Diogo Melro moves back up into 2nd place.
Yeah, and it's the other way around for Maciej Sakowicz. He's really struggling after his first laps, and he's hunted by a whole bunch of cars, and I mean about 6-7 cars just at his bumper following him, and he's leading the pace, but not in the good way he should want it to be. And yeah, it's just a matter of time, I think, before he's get overtaken by some cars and fall back even farther than he already was.
Well, believe it or not, Patrick, there are 10 cars in that train right behind Maciej Sakowicz. It runs all the way from 4th place all the way down to, I believe that's actually Adam Delmont, so it might be 11 cars in that train. So Adam Delmont in 15th place. The gap between them all is around about 3 seconds, but that covers 11 cars from Maciej Sakowicz all the way down to Adam Delmont in 15th place. Incredible stuff here in race 3.
Yeah, it really is, and the battle for 2nd position is still not over, because Blake doesn't want to give up, doesn't want to give in, and Melroy, yeah, he just wants to grab the leader. He wants to go to Janowski, but he can't get rid of Blake Neck, who's really driving an excellent race. And if you can watch this, he's probably trying.
Janowski's off into the gravel trap there. He's been wide consistently every single lap. Sorry to jump in there, Patrick, but Janowski losing a big amount of time there. And I'll tell you what, that gap was 2 seconds. Blake Neck, when he overtook Diogo Melro there at the start of lap 4, did bring the gap down to 1.8 seconds. That gap is now down to 1.3 seconds. Game on, my friends. Game on. Diogo Melro, currently in 2nd place, is hunting down Janowski.
Yeah, and it was a few seconds ago, it was pretty crowded around the Casio Triangle. I mean, 7-8 cars in it at the same time. That's the way of how close it is at the moment. Nobody wants to back off. Everybody wants to battle for the best position. And yeah, it can be close on the end, and I don't know how it ends, but it's beautiful to watch.
Well, we're about 5 minutes away from finding out. Meanwhile, Tristan Boris makes a beautiful move on Stuart McFadden down for 6th place there. And Robert Plumley is fighting tooth and nail again with Maciej Sakowicz still for 4th and 5th position. It is all kicking off all through the field, and it looks like Stu McFadden is going to lose out to Adam Hadfield as well, as they're side by side. Adam Hadfield indeed takes the position. Stu tries to take it on the inside there. Surely he's going to be too hot into there, and it looks like he might get taken as well from Chepelevsky. Chepelevsky and Stu McFadden side by side. Chepelevsky is going to be late on the brakes going on the inside there. Stu McFadden manages to lose yet another place almost, because he is on the outside here and makes the move on the inside, and he might have just actually taken the place back from Selly and Chepelevsky. You've got to feel though it's only a matter of time before Stu McFadden loses that place as well. We've spoken about him consistently through the season so far, and it is all kicking off here. Diogo Melro is starting to drop Blake Neck for 2nd and 3rd place, and he is really trying to hunt down Janowski, as Janowski manages to make that corner this time, doesn't run wide, and comes to break the car down towards the end of the lap here, Patrick.
Yeah, and just you mentioned McFadden is losing positions, and he's probably losing his next position now, but he just can make it stick. But Chepelevsky is really on his rear and really wants to pass by. But this time McFadden holds his line and keeps it clear and keeps his position. But just what you said, how long?
Yep. How long indeed, and it's now a case of any lap now between Janowski and Diogo Melro, because Diogo Melro is right on the tail of the leader. We've got just over 2.5 minutes to go here at Suzuka, and you could not have asked for a more thrilling climax to this final race. Diogo Melro is now within 0.4 of a second of the leader Julian Janowski, and the pace that Diogo Melro is showing, you've got to wonder where this overtaking manoeuvre is going to happen. Blake Neck quite happy to sit back in 3rd place, but can Diogo Melro get past the champion of Julian Janowski? Really amazing calibre of driving from Janowski. We've seen fantastic performances from him in the past, but he has not got enough to shake off Diogo Melro, Patrick, and this is building up quite spectacularly.
Yes, just as we expected, 2 big names in the front of the field, and yeah, the battle is on. And that's something that doesn't count for Mesiek Sakovic. We told before that he got loose on positions, and he was dropping down the field, and Robert Plumley and Tristan Baudiz actually overtook him, and so he lost his 4th position and is currently in 6th.
Yep, great point there, and Chepelevsky at this time isn't ahead of Stuart McFadden. I haven't checked in the past 5 seconds though, and this is getting very intense indeed. Diogo Melro is all over the back of the gearbox of Janowski. He's moving one way, he moves the other, he's trying all the mind games that he possibly can. They go through the chicane there, and it's onto the right hander, the final turn before they start lap 7. This is possibly going to be the 2nd lap to go. We've only got less than a minute left to go, so I believe the next lap across the line is going to be the final one, and he makes the move round the outside of turn 1. Janowski's having none of it, but the side by side going into turn 1. There's a little bit of contact as Diogo Melro leans onto Janowski. Things are getting physical here in lap 7 of the BSR Kia Cup, race 3 here at Suzuka, and it's all kicking off between Julian Janowski and Diogo Melro. And I tell you what, this brings Blake Neck back into things, Patrick.
Yeah, I just want to mention that because they're struggling, they're fighting so hard with each other, they forgot to watch in the back mirror, because Blake Neck is just in the popcorn position, and if they keep battling that hard and something went wrong, something goes wrong, he's there to take the win.
Yep, that's a very astute observation there, Patrick. It's a 3-car battle for the lead. Any one of these guys could take it, and Diogo Melro takes it in late, and it's a big boot up the rear for Julian Janowski, who had one line into the left-hander there. Diogo Melro had a very different line into it, and that was a very aggressive shunt from behind from Diogo Melro on Julian Janowski, and there is definitely no love lost here. And starting to drop Blake Neck a little bit here. Diogo Melro taking a slightly wider line through the corner, and it's going to be very, very interesting because Melro's clearly got the faster pace, and we've seen it so often, Patrick, where faster drivers, as he gets his nose well and truly chopped off from Julian Janowski. Diogo Melro was having a little cheeky look up the inside, and Julian Janowski was having absolutely none of that. Is there going to be a move made into the chicane? No, there's not. They're leaning on each other, there's contact, there's side by side between Julian Janowski and Diogo Melro, and is Blake gonna make a cheeky little move here?
And this is the finish, how close can it be? There are only 16 hundredths between Melro and Blake Neck actually took second place.
Wow, incredible stuff there. It was very, very difficult to commentate on that one because it was a photo finish. As you said, Patrick, what an absolutely incredible result for Blake Neck to steal second place from Diogo Melro like that. And Diogo is going to be all sorts of frustrated, but a huge race win there for Julian Janowski there. A fantastic, fantastic race win for him, Patrick.
Yeah, it really is, and I mean, Blake Neck did the smartest thing he can do. Let them fight it out and just be there at the right moment, and he did. And he just missed out the speed to grab Julian Janowski as well, but yeah, I think he didn't expect this.
The top three racers and the top three finishers finishing all within that's 1800ths of a second, and really, really stunning third race to end things out. But here's your standings then for race 3 of the BSR Kia Cup at Suzuka circuit, and it's a race win for Julian Janowski ahead of second place Blake Neck, and third place on the podium Diogo Melro, all within 0.18 seconds of each other. Robert Plumley leads the train for 4th place, Adam Hadfield taking 5th, Tristan Bottas taking 6th, and Stu McFadden managing to hold off the might of Stelian Czeplewski for 7th place. Stelian Czeplewski takes 8th place in another spirited drive from him, and pole sitter Maciej Sakowicz goes all the way down to 9th place. Matthew Bunn takes 10th place, Stephen Baxter in 11th, Adam Delmont in 12th, Lewis Bibby in 13th place. Lauren Murray finishes in 14th, Kip Stevens finishes in 15th place, Benjamin Haxon finishes in 16th place, and Jackie Lauterman finishes in 17th place. 18th for Alexander Lauritsen, Max Wright gets 19th, Cesare Rizzo gets 20th place, and Lyndon Swaby is in 21st. Thomas Gibson takes 22nd, Jason Greenfield in 23rd, Lee Bammer in 24th. Fantastic result for Addy King, brand new to the series, finishes 25th place. And the best of the rest, Nathan Davis finishes 26th place, 27th for Jamie Ayres, Stephen Minton in 28th place, Peter Van Gool in 29th. It's been an absolute disastrous weekend for Peter Van Gool. Gavin Wakefield in 30th, Adam McNally in 31st, Ian Roskill in 32nd place, Steve Walker, Richard Gore and Thorsten Helgeson round out your field with 33rd, 34th and 35th respectively. Patrick, oh my goodness me, what a finale on a race.
Yeah, and it's all started with the big crash at the start. And yeah, little disappointment of course for Richard Gore. I mean, drove well all night, and then you haven't even cleared your starting position, and then you're already crashed. That's not too good, of course, after this evening. But let's mention Julian Janowski. As I mentioned, it's the guy that is really fast in this car, probably one of the fastest on earth with this car. And yeah, he did it in the last race. He couldn't do it in race 1, he couldn't do it in race 2, but he took his part of the points in the last race. And yeah, let's mention Blake Neck. Very, very intellectual driver, as he's shown. Because yeah, if you do that in this heat, with this close racing, and with a driver as Melroy in your neighborhood, and just steal the second spot, as you mentioned correctly, yeah, you did an amazing job.
Yep, and we've seen that all throughout the season, both here with the Kias and in the MX-5s as well, where you get that group of 3 racers that are pushing very, very hard. You find often in the third place it's a very difficult position to be in, Patrick. It can quite reward you, as you've mentioned, but also, you know, you've kind of got to keep up with them, as well as keeping yourself out of the trouble and keeping yourself out of the damage that's caused in front. But as you said, fantastic trio of races that we've had here tonight for the BSR Kia Cup, and an amazing weekend here at Suzuka Circuit. Unfortunately, because of the delay getting race 2 underway, we're not going to have any time to chat to any of the drivers tonight. But final thoughts then, Patrick, on tonight. A really, really good weekend for Julian Janowski and Diogo Melro.
Yeah, and let's not forget the race winner of race 2, Nathan Davies. He grabbed his point as well, and yeah, I mean, it was excellent racing, lots of close racing, but yeah, what I want to mention is there weren't many issues with crashes and that kind of stuff. Most people who started actually finished. And yeah, that's a quite good point to mention. That shows how the level of competence is for these drivers with this car. It's quite hard, but they manage to keep it all together, and yeah, that's something that I want to be mentioning as well.
Yep, excellent point about the quality of the racing that we see here. Obviously, this past week has been a hotbed for the instance, and the marshals and the stewards having a very busy week in some of the other series, and it's always refreshing when we come back here. And as you said, incredibly difficult cars to control around a nice fast circuit like this. We've had 3 absolutely stunning races. And I think that is all we have time for tonight. I've been Dave Christie. Alongside me, it's been a fantastic pleasure to have you, Patrick Kispel, and we look forward to having more input from you on future races. Coming up tomorrow, we've got the BSR MX-5 series with myself, and I believe Adam Bath as well is going to be joining us for that one. But from myself, from Patrick, and our ever so talented cameraman Sammy, who has been bringing you the race coverage tonight. I've been Dave Christie. This has been Apex Racing TV, and you've just enjoyed 3 of the finest races here at Suzuka. Thank you very much, and join us tomorrow.